This is the XNC Podcast, your Xbox newscast featuring Colteastwood, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, XNC Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the XNC Podcast live. Good evening. No, how you guys doing? Good evening to you, I suppose. This is Colteastwood, and this is the XNC Podcast, and I'm here with Stallion83, a big Xbox personality. I just learned he's quite a bit younger than me, but I am so happy to have him here. Stallion, how are you doing tonight?
21, man. Still 21. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Great to be here.
Yeah, I thought I'd knock off some of the dust and get you onto a podcast and get you off of Twitch for a minute and show you what these crazy YouTube people are all about. But welcome to the show. Hey, this show is on YouTube on the Colteastwood channel, and we're also on demand on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pocket Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. I think I said that. But you've got it on demand there. That will post after the show. But we're here live right now to talk about what's going on with Xbox. But before we do, a formal introduction of Stallion83, the man with how much gamer score?
I don't even know anymore, dude. I don't know the number. I honestly don't. I swear I don't know. I have no idea. 2.2. I slowed down at 2 million.
2.2 million.
I had to let people catch up, man. You know, I had to slow down a little bit. But I'm about to. I don't know what it. 2.2 something like that. Somewhere around there. But yeah, it's fun. Gamer score's fun. If you like gamer score, you know all about it. If you don't know about gamer score, you're probably like, why do you play for achievements? Well, it's fun playing games for achievements. That's
everybody knows about gamer score, and I remember we're going to get into talking about you and gamer score and what you're at, but I remember when I first got the 360 playing GTA 4, and there was this pop-up that said one-man army or something, and I thought it was part of the game because that was the first game I played on the 360. I came in pretty late. I didn't quite understand what achievements were till way through playing games when I finally understood what was going on and talking to friends. But I want to know, and the audience wants to know more about you. Like, what's your claim to fame, and why do people know who you are? And
well, they might not know. I don't know. I don't know why anybody knows who I am, to be honest with you. But people might know me because I was the first to a million gamer score, first to 2 million gamer score. Okay, we go back to 100,000, 200,000, all the milestones. I was number one for about 12 and a half, 13 years. This is dating back to 2006, early 2006. So this is pretty early on in the 360 generation. I became the worldwide leader in gamer score. Got Guinness World Records.
Wow.
2013, I got Xbox Live Gold for life. And
that's nice.
Yeah. Well, now it's Game Pass for life. They had to upgrade it to Game Pass for life recently because it was it was coded in there for like 800 years. It was ridiculous. But now it's Game Pass for life, and that's awesome. I got video games for life, man. I don't know how I can't be happy with life. I got Game Pass for life. But also, if you go down to the Xbox Plaza, this is really dope. You go down there, the Walk of Fame.
I've seen it.
There's a plaque. It's got me on it, and I'm the only person the only actual person that's listed on there. There's like
the only Xbox user on the
only person. There's like, hey, we had Halo launch and it sold a bazillion copies, and then there's like me sitting there like, look at this dumbass, this doofus here, he's here too. Like, I don't know how that even happened, but it did happen. And
when did they put that on there? I was at E3 2019 in LA, and I saw that and a bunch of other. Yeah, I remember.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even been there to see it yet. Like, I have not seen it. 2020, I was going to go, but COVID happened. So,
oh my gosh! What have you been waiting for? Yeah, now, when can we ever go?
I don't know. I was going to do something dab on it. I don't even know. Once I go, a dab will be out of style, so I'll have to do something else. I don't know. I don't know what I can do.
By the time you go, the dab might be back in style. Oh, heaven help us.
True. But I started Xbox from the beginning. I've been playing Xbox since I got it launch day 2001, and then the 360. I got that on launch day as well. I tried to get the 360 early though. So this is kind of an important piece of information here because this is kind of funny. So all the stuff I just told you is pretty cool, right? I mean, I would say that's the stuff I've accomplished and stuff like that in the Xbox lore is pretty cool, and I think to me it's awesome, and it's very humbling that I got, Microsoft even noticed me, right, with all this, because I could have went through all that and I'm not even get recognized or recognition at all from it, for sure. Absolutely. But in 2005 I tried to get an Xbox 360 early. So if you weren't around, then you might not have known that Mountain Dew had a promotion where they were giving away an Xbox every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, they would give away an Xbox. You would have to use the cap of a Mountain Dew bottle. So you'd put a bunch of codes in. So I'm down. I'm trying to get you could get it early too. If you won, you could get an Xbox 360 early. I'm down at the local fair with my girlfriend, okay? And I am dumpster diving for caps.
No, you weren't. I thought you were going to say you were buying up all the Mountain Dew.
No, I was dumpster diving for caps. I had like 500 caps. No joke. I had 500 and something caps. Right?
Oh my gosh.
And I won a Mountain Dew hoodie. I didn't win a 360. I won a Mountain Dew hoodie. And then 5 or 6 years later, whatever it is, I'm getting gifted Xbox Live Gold for life in Times Square when they had me there.
That's
riding around in Lamborghinis.
What a difference.
I know.
You're like head first in a garbage can at the county fair.
Yeah.
And then
Knoxville, Tennessee Valley Fair, 2006. I don't know how my she's not my wife, but my girlfriend was with me at the time. I don't even know how I married her. I'm around dumpster diving. I don't know how that even happened, but
that's amazing.
That's just this kind of a story that I've never really told that story, but it's 100%. If I had my hoodie in here, I'd show you. It's not that great.
You still have it.
I still owe it. Definitely. I definitely still have a hoodie.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's such a long time ago too. So you had to wait to get a 360 like all the other, peasants, right?
Yeah. Not peasants, but I had to wait. I had to wait.
Oh, I didn't get mine until the spring of 2008. I had an original Xbox. I was trying to get back into gaming, so I bought an old original Xbox of a coworker, and I had that thing like a few months. I said, okay, all right, I got to get a 360 like 6 months later, but that's such a great generation. So, but Xbox knows who you are, right? Like, they know you really well.
They know who I am. Yeah. They know me, I think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, 2 million is a lot of gamer score. I see the chats like, holy smokes, it's a lot of gamer score. But so now you're Twitch streaming. You've been playing games on your Twitch channel. You have like almost 40,000 followers. Is that what it's at?
Somewhere around there. I've been streaming about 8 years on Twitch. I actually became a partner pretty early on. There was this they wanted me to do 1 million there, and then the 1 million gamer score. Sorry. They reached out to me and they were like, hey, let's go do this at like New Year's Eve or something like that. And then Xbox came and like, hey, let's do something maybe at Times Square when the Xbox One launches, which would have been awesome. It didn't happen though. They contacted me a little late. They contacted me a month before they launched the Xbox One. They were like, hey, do you think you could get 1 million in a month? I'm like, no. I ended up getting it like 3 months later. If they would have contacted me a little early, I could have done this whole thing on Spike TV during the launch of the Xbox One. But it wasn't meant to be. But that would have been cool.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was on Spike TV back then?
Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley.
Oh yeah.
He was
so cool.
He was actually supposed to come to my house and interview me at that point too, but I actually went to New York and did the interview, and the interview was on Spike TV, and they gave me Major Nelson gave me the Gold for Life card at that point.
Jeez. Well, that's really cool. Jeff Keighley's been in the industry so long.
Absolutely.
I started watching him like in 2007 is when I started watching their stuff on G4 TV and game trailers and stuff. Like they were all kind of working together. I got to ask the chat. Chat, did you guys eat a bunch of burrito boxes from Taco Bell trying to get an Xbox One X or Series X? Because I was crazy. I used to go to I was running real hard on the Xbox One. I pre-ordered mine, the Scorpio, but I was still going to Taco Bell
I did too.
Like 3 times a week or 2 times a week, and I have a family of 5, so I would like, you guys get in the box? They're like, well, no, we don't. I'm like, you're getting the box, and I bring home 5 of them, and we never won anything. But
you didn't even win a hoodie, not even a Taco Bell hoodie. I made out better than you then. I did better than you, man. Jeez.
Yeah, the only thing I won was a gut ache and a whole lot of we called them the Barfaritos. It was like Taco Bell's one of the things I didn't like at Taco Bell to get the box. But and then fast forward to last November, and Xbox sent me a Series X for review. I didn't have to buy. They sent you one. So, yeah, it's really cool. So, but let's talk about when you talk about the achievements. This is something that actually the chat was asking me to talk to you about. Let's shout out to you, Donnie Quezada, who gave this $2 super chat. He's awesome. He says, I won diarrhea at Taco Bell.
True.
Yeah. I have a good
number
friend.
2? Is that because he took a shit? Is that what the number 2?
That's why I put the number 2. Yeah, the $2. The number $2 super chat. I have a friend who, an underachiever who's a mod on the show. He bought his first box to try and get the Xbox One X, and he said he took one bite of that Beefarito, I think it was called, something like that. Worst name, right? And he showed me a picture. He threw it out in the parking lot for some pigeons. So, you got to take care of the wildlife from where he lives. But the chat wants me to ask you, Stallion, about the achievement system. I hear a lot of people saying it needs to be fixed. I don't know. I'm really happy with how it works. Like basically 1,000 for a base game. They've got the rare achievements with the platinum diamond that spins. Yeah. I'm sure that you've looked into this and you thought they need to do better. What needs to change on the achievement system?
I've thought about this a lot over the years. It definitely has changed a lot as far as how easy it is. Ever since they allowed indie games to have achievements, that's the day it changed. So I don't know if we're going back. I don't know if you can put that back.
That wasn't indie games didn't have achievements back in the early parts of the 360.
So there was a difference between arcade games, which some of those could be, those were indie developers, but they weren't really indie games. They weren't like I did Xbox games. Now it's like more people can publish games for sure.
There was like a game segment and then an arcade game segment on the 360.
Well, there was the games, arcade games, which had like 200 gamer score, and then that went up to 400 gamer score at some point.
Oh wow!
And then they had indie games, which didn't have anything. Anybody could like publish stuff. There was like Rumble Massage, but now Rumble Massage. No, seriously, Rumble Massage could be on Xbox One, and it could have 1,000 gamer score. Yeah, that might feel good, dude. I mean. Put that on my neck there, and get 1,000 gamer score. That's something you could do now. That's something somebody could do. You couldn't do that in the past. So I don't know if you're getting that back in the box. They've already, and when this happened, they started the indie games like seriously a week after I got 1 million. So it's like,
oh my gosh, you were working hard.
It was like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, well, you're gonna make it easier now, huh? Okay, that's cool. Let's
go for 2.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was like. It was be easier to get to 2. It was.
So what's missing from the achievement system? There's only one thing I can think of, but it might be one that you're going to mention.
Well, a lot of people definitely want completed games, like a platinum trophy.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so you get the completed game. There's so much, like, I've thought about this too much, and I've stopped thinking about it because I think about it too much. And I have like notes everywhere of what they should do, how they should do it, and stuff like that. And it's evolved and changed over the time of what should happen. But I mean, those are the surface level things, like how many platinums or completed games you have in the case of Xbox, how many rare achievements you might have unlocked. Other than that, I mean, right now there's some problems with the system anyways. Like if you look at somebody's list, if you look at my list, it looks like I haven't even completed a game. It's all 0.
Oh.
It's some type of glitch.
Why? I mean, like I usually don't get a bunch of games on my list unless I've loaded them up and say, yeah, I don't really like it, like in Game Pass, and then it shows 0 out of 1,000.
It shows that because it's a glitch. That's the only thing I can tell. And that thing's been going on for like 5 years, so I don't even know. That's something they need to address.
You get some people in the community that will go and look at someone's profile and screen cap it, like look at all these zeros, and then they use ammo.
They could do that for me but if you click into it, it'll actually show the achievements. But that's just like surface level stuff they could do. As far as like everybody kind of knows that, like I'm saying, like completed games. You've probably heard that if you're not that much into the gamer score achievement community, everybody's probably heard that. But there's definitely other stuff they could do. What if you could spend your gamer score? NFTs are getting pretty big. Spend your gamer score. A piece of artwork. I don't know. Like it belongs to you, and it can be your profile picture. Just little things like that might be cool. If you spend your gamer score, I'm not saying like your gamer score goes away. You still have it, but you might have something to spend. Like whatever your gamer score is, maybe you could spend it on stuff. You still keep your gamer score, but you have like a point limit to use. You understand what I'm like?
Yeah.
It doesn't take your gamer score away, but you can only use those points. You can use those points, but it doesn't really go off your profile. It's kind of on the back end thing. People don't know what you're buying. Only Microsoft can see that type of thing. If
you can make a couple dollars a month if you get a lot of achievements in the Game Pass games. Like they've narrowed that down to the Game Pass quests.
That's really cool.
You can easily make $1 or $2 worth of points.
Yeah.
They could really do something to reward you for playing. Let's see. We got Shadowless Edge. Thanks for the Australian $5. He says, "Does gamer score matter anymore, or is it all about the meta of getting achievements in games that matter to you?" How are you sitting on this right now?
For me,
like you've had your fill.
For me personally, like, that's the thing. Once I got to 2 million, for me, I'm like, I could just keep this going for as long as I want. At this point, I'm like 12, 13 years in. If I want to keep it going forever, I could do it. But at that point, it's like there's so many games. During the 360 days, it was way different. Mm-hmm. So just imagine trying to get 100,000, the first 100,000. It's the hardest because there's not that many games. You don't have that many games.
And I don't chase. Not a lot of people chase a higher score.
Right. You got to go. Like if you're going for it, then at that point though, I was limited to the games I had per week. But now if you started, you've got so many games at your disposal to play, especially with something like Game Pass as well. How you can't keep up. So for me, once I got to 2 million, it's hard to keep up with every game. So I'm just going to play the games I want to play, whether it's Sea of Thieves, if I want to put 1,000 hours into Sea of Thieves, but I'm still chasing the achievements in the games that I want to play. Not chasing the gamer score in all the games. For me,
it never gets old for me when that achievement pops.
Absolutely.
I can't help it. And I'm not even an achievement hunter. I'm only at about 139,000 or 132,000 or something. But I like that feeling. And I've played a lot on PlayStation and Steam. And I just got to say, like, Chad, I hope you're listening to this. Like, Xbox has the best achievement pop in the business. Like, I played Steam where a little blue box pops up and just goes ding. And then the PlayStation, the little gray box or a little box that just this little box that looks like your text notifications are in. And with the Xbox, you got this really cool, as a graphic designer, the animation and the way that pops up. I still love it. And I don't even chase it. So, but I don't know. Yeah, they have some stuff to work on. I just feel like if they did try to do an overhaul or big changes to the achievement system, it would take a lot of time because they built it up for a decade or so.
Well, I mean, they started it all. They started all that.
Yeah,
that's kind of overlooked as well. I mean, they started the achievement system. Now, if you wouldn't have. Do you have trophies? Do you have Steam achievements? Do you have? I don't know. Does Stadia have achievements? I know Nintendo's never got on board with it, but everybody else has.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my fair share of trophies and Steam achievements from when I was concentrating on different platforms. But I don't know. I want to go back to talking about Game Pass. Game Pass is killing it. People are getting mad. People are enjoying it. But they added a bunch of new games. I want to talk to you about these new games because I don't know if you've been messing with them, but they added like the full suite of Marvel's Avengers, like the disappointment of the year. And I did not like this game. I already got it free from my Verizon Wireless reward. Like they just sent me a message and said, hey, you can have this game. I'm like, okay. I didn't like it, but playing it in Game Pass with like a year of, I played it last year and with a full year of support and all the new content, it started out with Black Panther. I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. And I sunk like 20 hours in this past week. Have you been looking at the new Game Pass games? Are you playing these? Are they a priority?
I play a lot. Like now I play a lot of Game Pass games. Hades, recently, MLB, the show earlier this year. I'm trying to think of all the games. There's so many freaking games, dude. I always forget how many there are, but there's so many. But yeah, Marvel's Avengers. Speaking of Marvel's Avengers, I know that has gotten a lot of hate over the last year for sure. But did you just play through like the single player campaign? Is that what you did?
Yes, because I messed around the game and I did a couple campaign missions. Like it starts off really great, and then you do these generic out in the generic forest and go into a tech lab and fight in a different colored tech lab. And I'm like, I don't like this sort of thing. So I gave up on the game. I had my criticism. I'm the type of guy where I'll say, I don't like this game. I don't like what it does. And then I never bring up again because I don't talk about what I don't like because we're too busy talking about what we do like. But when I loaded it up and it threw me in like the Wakanda missions, and then I had to ask some friends, how do you do the main quest? Because I was looking at all these icons with different level gatings, and somebody was telling me, oh, you got to go to the Avengers A. I'm like, oh, and I figured out how to go through the main quest, and I really, really liked it. And so people had a good laugh that I pulled like a huge 180. Have you played Avengers?
Yeah, I played it when it came out, and I beat the single player campaign, which was like, I don't know, I might have put, when I was streaming it, 10 to 12 hours or something, and beat the single player campaign. And that was, to me, that was fun. I enjoyed that. I didn't continue on with the grind of the game after that. I did the 10 to 12 hours, and that's fine. Why can't we celebrate a game that's 10 or 12 hours good? Just because it's a game as a service, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. Now, if that's what you're going in that game for, you might be disappointed. But for me, when I didn't really care about that aspect. I cared about the 10 to 12 hours. I had a fun 10 to 12 hours. Mm-hmm. Why would I trash like, why can't that just be, well, why can't that just be the end of it? It was a good single player game. Then it escalates to, well, it's supposed to be this Destiny-like Marvel game.
Yeah,
I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I just like the 10 or 12 hours, and I enjoyed that.
That's cool because you can, if you're really careful, you can play the Avengers as a great single-player game, and then the stuff you do with friends is not good at all. And I stopped playing Destiny for those same reasons. And the gear's lame. Like, you can't see the gear. Yeah, there was all those things. But everybody was like talking about the Avengers because Crystal Dynamics made it. And Avengers is an amazing looking game. And now that it's got the Series X full patch, like I played it when it was dynamic resolution, it could hardly hold 60. Now it's really, really, really nice looking. So people are starting to scratch their heads like, Crystal Dynamics can make great looking games. So that's why they're out there in front with the Perfect Dark thing. Have you been following the Perfect Dark news?
That was a weird one. Yeah, I mean, I saw that on social media. What was it, like 8 p.m. on a Thursday? It was something really weird, and I scratched my head on it. I think most people, that was a head scratcher. It's like, okay, the first thing I think of is, the initiative. They've never made a game,
right? Yeah.
So that's what I thought. I'm like, you've never made a game, but you need help making a game. But then when you unfold everything and you figure out, well, maybe they are a small team and they're going to need help. Maybe they need help because COVID's going on or whatever, just to help get them to the finish line. They've got a good team. They got a good, if Crystal Dynamics is your support team, I would think you're doing pretty good, and especially with Joanna Dark. They well, I don't know if they revitalized, but they kept Lara Croft going with with Tomb Raider, and that wasn't a great Tomb Raider game they made. An amazing Tomb Raider game, maybe the best. Rise of the Tomb Raider, that could be the best of the three. That one was amazing.
Yeah, they made the first two, and I didn't care about Lara Croft or Tomb Raider growing up. I didn't play those games. I played like the PlayStation 1 version for a minute. I'm like, I didn't really like it, but yeah, I mean, if you can win over a fan, someone who's not a fan of Tomb Raider, I'm not a Perfect Dark person either. So
no Perfect Dark. Oh man, dude, Perfect.
Yeah,
Dark.
I mean, I've kind of told my audience a few times, but there was like a 10-year period when I wasn't gaming. Basically, it sounds so terrible, but I wasn't really a gamer from the first couple years of the Super Nintendo until the 360 came out.
Okay,
that might be 15 years or 10 years. I don't know what it was. But yeah, I missed a lot of stuff, but I can't go back and play Perfect Dark on an N64. I wouldn't like it. So
you can play it on Game Pass though.
I've played it on the rare replay, and I played it for a few minutes. I'm like, it's tough to play a game that's dated, but
it probably doesn't hold up too well.
Yeah. So one of the things about Game Pass is people always get mad if you say the games are free, and I put out this poll, and I said, do you feel like Game Pass games are free? Because when you spend $120 a year, and you play 2 or 3 games, it paid for itself, technically, I guess. But there was this interview with Phil Spencer and the CEO of Take-Two, which really got people going. We're going to get into this topic right now. The CEO of Take-Two, forgot his first name, but his last name's Zelnick. They were talking about Game Pass with Phil. I don't know if you saw this on social media, Stallion, but he said, hey, Phil, we're at like 30 million subscribers, aren't we? And Phil's face got so red because the last time they have reported numbers of Game Pass was in January, 18 million. And internally we've heard, if you believe rumors and inside information, that Xbox wants to hit 30 by the holiday here in the next couple months. But the CEO of Take-Two said, hey, Phil, we're at 30, right? Elbow. Did you see
Caught
this?
him off guard. I saw that little piece of the clip. It was a pretty big interview, wasn't it? Pretty long interview. Yeah. So I don't know how I narrowed it down to finding that. I guess somebody did it for me, but I did see that clip. And I mean, maybe he knows something everybody else doesn't know. He might know. He might have just misspoke.
Well, tell me what you think Phil was what was going through his head at that moment, because he's on this international interview. And, one of the biggest publishing CEOs kind of talks like, hey, us in Game Pass, we're at 30 million, right? And Phil's like, hey, man, that's not on the talking points.
I mean, he got surprised. He was just like, what? Don't, we're going to tell you this later on this year, but will you be surprised if they're at 30 million?
No, not surprised, because I had heard that their goal was 30. And there's also some talk that those numbers had slowed down, so they might be behind their goal. And trust me, as you and I know when you're looking at numbers, people who stream or have YouTube channels, like these things are tailor-made to kick you in the face when your numbers aren't steadily climbing.
Yeah.
So I sort of wonder if Phil was like, I've been looking at the graphs, we're a little bit behind, but maybe he put out expectations that were above. I mean, even if they're at 20-some million, they're still doing really well for a brand new service. I don't know. They pulled that stream from where a lot of people could see it. I heard it's still on the internet somewhere. Chat, let me know. Shout out to almost 500 people watching Stallion and I talk about the crazy guesswork that goes on in gaming. I'm here with Stallion83. Big Xbox personality, big gamer score guy. Xbox loves Stallion. He's got a nice happy smile, and he doesn't cause any grief. So yeah, they like Stallion. But thanks for being on the show tonight. Hit the like button. Also, I don't usually bug people to hit the like button. If you're watching and you're enjoying the show and you're having a good time, move the chat away for a second. Show support by hitting the like button. and let us know we're doing a good job. We're going to get into some topics about organic growth because this has been a big hot on the heels of everyone expecting Xbox to start buying up studios. Like, they were kind of poised to get ready to buy studios. Satya Nadella said, we're all in. We're going to start pushing money out for first party and get that support for Game Pass and the platform. And Xbox has announced nothing in the past 6 months, and PlayStation has. Stallion, have you followed PlayStation in these pickups they've been doing this past 6 months?
Not really. No. Okay. I got to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know a lot about PlayStation. I haven't played a PlayStation in a very long time. Since
Really?
Yeah.
Just doing the math.
Well, I mean, I was too focused on my goal. It was really, I mean, I just, there was too much to play. Well, there was too much to play. All right.
There's definitely plenty to play. I've been a one console owner for a while too.
There was too much to play. There's plenty of, one console owners out there. There's plenty of, I mean, some people can only afford one console, but Gran Turismo? No. Grand Theft Auto. Sorry. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is actually the last PlayStation game I played in 2003.
Little John.
Little John. Seriously.
I mean, San Andreas is one of my favorite games in the world.
Awesome. Yeah.
Shout out to Mikey363 with the 179-pound super chat. He says, "Damn, Ray, that dumpster diving story."
Shout out to Mike.
I mean, I could picture you with your feet hanging out. Like when you go to the fair, they have those big round barrel garbage cans that are like nasty, and you were really making it happen, man.
There were flies everywhere, dude. I'm flies, cheese fries, funnel cake. It's the nastiest thing. I mean, like, I probably can't get COVID because I got so many germs at that point. Like,
you're probably like immune to everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You get that Definitely. At the fair anyway before you even go headfirst into a garbage can. Hargeet Chani with the $5. Thanks, buddy. He says, we have Microsoft reward points that reward you for achievements and then points for Game Pass as well. I actually turned on a feature. Stallion, I don't know if you care about this stuff. I was really hard into the Microsoft reward things a couple years ago. I had a friend, Zocker87, who I've podcasted with. He showed me how you could do these things on Bing every day, and then you could earn enough money to buy like 3 games a year. So I kind of got hooked on doing this, even though I didn't really need to bank the money. So I kind of stopped doing that for a while, but I did do a setting in the Microsoft Rewards app in the Xbox where you can tell it once you hit 23,000 points, it will automatically purchase you the $25 card.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know all about this, man. This needs to be a PSA for everybody out there. They need to download the rewards app on your Xbox.
Yes.
You can literally free money just sitting there waiting for you to grab. And if you do Bing searches, like you said, you can get a couple 100 points a day, and that adds up to every 1,000 points is like $1 roughly.
I did a video toward the end of 2018 where I screen capped my morning routine. It seriously took me 5 minutes because I recorded it in real time where I would go up and I would click all the quizzes as fast as I could. I would click all the 25 searches, and then on my phone I would go and do the 10 or 12 searches. And I even broke down the numbers on screen that you would make enough money to buy 3 full price games at the end of the year. And now people are using it to turn over and grab Game Pass for absolutely free. But maybe I should make another video like that. But that should be
for sure, dude. For sure. I mean, people need to know about that one.
Yeah. Hargeet Chani with $2. He adds, quote, "We're at 30 million." Yeah. Back with that Zelnick thing, I always thought it was weird that he said "we." And one of my friends said maybe he meant he's on the interview with Phil, so he just kind of buddy like, "Hey, we," right? But I also thought that Take-Two they've had Red Dead 2 in their service twice, and I think they've had Grand Theft Auto 5 in there twice.
It's been there twice. Yeah, it's been there twice.
So maybe he feels like, when
he's part of it.
if Xbox reached out to you and says, "Hey, we want to put your game in there," you feel like you partnered with Game Pass for a time. Or Take-Two is constantly looking at, "Hey, when's the next time we're going to put something in Game Pass and collect a check?" Like, it's probably got to be an easy check, but I don't know. That
Are you saying they're buying Take-Two? No.
Oh my gosh. So that's been one of the things that people have been talking about. I remember I asked you a few minutes ago about the PlayStation acquisitions. A lot of people were thinking that Xbox was going to pick up something big like Bethesda. We'll get into that in a minute, but I'll give you the quick, not to bore you, thing of what PlayStation hasn't picked up anything really exciting except for Insomniac, which Insomniac's made, 10 out of 12 of their games have been for PlayStation. So don't quote me on that number. That's just dang close. They bought a PC porting studio. They bought Bluepoint recently, which is a studio that makes their remasters, and they've picked up a little conglomerate of studios that they used to own that they kind of shuttered. So it's just been tough for Xbox fans to see PlayStation continually announcing that we're getting more studios. We're going to have as many as Xbox if we keep going. And Xbox studios are like, where are our purchases, man? You guys said they were going to buy studios.
They got Bethesda. They got the big fish, though. They got the big fish. They're spending $7.5 billion. This is my logic behind this. If they're going to spend $7.5 billion, they're serious.
Yeah,
they're serious, and they're going to keep going until the wheels fall off. I don't think they're going to stop. They're no longer. Before this, it seemed like Microsoft was jabbing, right? Before Bethesda, they were jabbing.
Yeah. Oh,
jabs. Then they got Bethesda. That's an uppercut.
Oh man,
that's no doubt an uppercut. What are they going to stop uppercutting? They might throw some more jabs, but they're whoever they can acquire, whatever fits. I mean, Take-Two. You can only imagine. I said, hey, what would make me like? I got a PC to play on, but like if I'm getting a PlayStation, like if tomorrow you're saying I'm not, don't quote you, like this might get. I don't want this to go like viral or anything, but I'm just saying if Sony buys Take-Two, I'm getting a PlayStation to play Grand Theft Auto, 100%. Just imagine if you flip that to the Xbox side. That's one of the big. They have Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto. At that point, like those are. You want to talk about a system seller or a service seller. There is no bigger game than Grand Theft Auto. That is the game. That's the whole. Anything else would Take-Two would just be gravy. Because if you get Grand Theft Auto, that is not only
one of the biggest games.
That is one of the biggest games. One of the 3 biggest games or franchises going right now, and has been going for the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. Every Grand Theft Auto game, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, the sales numbers have went up. That is very rare in this industry. Halo's done good, but I'm sure the sales have 4 and 5 might have dipped around. They weren't as good as maybe 2 and 3 or 1 or whatever. Grand Theft Auto has just skyrocketed. If Grand Theft Auto, if it follows the trend in Grand Theft Auto 6, how many copies has Grand Theft Auto 5 sold? 150. Is it? It's ridiculous numbers. It's ridiculous. 150. So if that trend keeps going, there is no bigger acquisition than Take-Two. If either one gets that is I don't know if who knows if they're. I have no idea. I have no idea, but that would be if I had whatever $20 billion to spend. I'm going after Grand Theft Auto because Grand Theft Auto 6, once that comes out, that's the biggest.
You're right.
It's just
it is 20 billion is what we guessed too, right? You're right on that one too. And when you're talking, I'm thinking everybody loves Grand Theft Auto. Like you don't often hear people say I can't stand it. Sometimes some people will be a contrarian and say they can't stand 5 because of online or something. But I mean, you can't deny it. But here's the problem, Stallion. I don't think a lot of Xbox fans want to hear is that I don't think Take-Two is the right purchase for Xbox's model going forward. This is a super hot take. And here's why. I think on average, a Grand Theft Auto game comes out about once every 8 years.
Well, now it's been skewed. It's definitely been skewed since 5 to whenever 6.
I mean, they
comes
cranked
out.
out the trilogy pretty quickly. Do you remember what year? I don't remember what year Grand Theft Auto came out. The first 3. I don't remember what year that came out.
But 3 came out in 01.
And then they turned around and put out Vice City and San Andreas like a year or two later.
Yep.
Or 04, 05 or something. 04?
No, Vice City was the year after. So they turned around and did Vice City the year after. Then I think it took them 2 years. No.
It might have been 04 for San Andreas.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. It was pretty quick, though.
That's true. And then 4 years later, they had Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess it's kind of like started to spread out as they put more and more time into it. But they also
they made a bunch of money. they stopped putting them out because they made more money online. Is the true thing that happened there.
Especially with 5. Yeah, I mean, we all know that there would be Grand Theft Auto 6 if 5 wasn't just a license to print money. But I've had some great times on that game. But they've also got Red Dead. They've got the Max Payne series that they've kind of left alone. People want to see Bully come back. Maybe Midnight Club. I mean, I don't know if you need those games. But if Xbox bought that, they'd be looking at spending $20 billion and then waiting a long time for a game. We're going to fold this into the next one, which has been pretty controversial for the past week. But if Xbox, I hate to say this, Stallion, but if Xbox bought Take-Two, it's such a dumb thing to say because I hate to say it out loud, honestly. I actually made a video about Take-Two and Grand Theft Auto, and I have the voiceover sitting on my desktop like a ticking time bomb. I want to delete it. Usually I just make a video once I get that far. But if Xbox bought Take-Two, what do you think they would do with Grand Theft Auto 6, which could come out in 2 or 3 years?
You know what? That's a good point because
like would they Minecraft it? Right?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Is that why you got the gears going?
Right. Yeah, because how I don't know.
I'm right there with you, man.
That's a tough
Chat, help us out.
That is tough.
Chat, help Stallion and I out. If Grand Theft Auto now belongs to the next game, 6, belongs to Xbox, does Xbox share it with everyone and rake in so much money that they could buy PlayStation? Or do they just say, hey, this is, if you want Game Pass and you want to be on an Xbox platform, we've got ZeniMax's and Bethesda's suite of games. We've got our great games. So let's not forget Xbox's first party offering with what they've usually come out with is super good, high quality stuff. Like the Halo games are big. The Gears games are always really good. The Forza games are killer. Like, chat, tell us, what are they going to do?
I got a thought for you. For you. So if they did that, if they bought like a studio like that and Minecrafted it where they put it out on everything and it goes into Game Pass, right?
Yep.
Okay. So what you do is to sweeten the deal even more for Xbox players is you have things like the online money. You have that as like perks on Game Pass.
Shark cards.
You have those and you get those as perks and stuff like that. So you get more bang for your buck on Xbox at that point. It's just a tough one, man. That the Grand Theft Auto thing, that's like one of 3 games. I would say Minecraft, Fortnite, and Grand Theft Auto are the 3.
I think so too.
Those are the 3 like
and Roblox.
I got stock in Roblox, man. So yeah,
go
up Roblox.
Roblox is huge, but nobody thinks of it as a banger. But it is a huge thing. But yeah, I'm with you. Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite are pretty dang big. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just a tough one. That would be. It's just hard. who knows what they would do with it at that point. I feel like that could go either way. I feel like that could still go on PlayStation or something. But then like, what about Red Dead? Because Red Dead's huge. Yeah. If like Grand Theft Auto's on another tier, and then like under that is actually Red Dead. That's on the second tier, but that's like way further down.
Its online thing hasn't taken.
Oh no, it's just not as good. I've tried. I mean, it's for whatever reason it just didn't.
They need to throw cars and helicopters into Red Dead 2 online, and I think it'll help it out.
I wanted that online to be great, but the actual story mode of Red Dead 2, brilliant. One of the best. Yeah, one of the best games I played in the last 10 years, easily.
I just can't comfortably use those like horse riding and shooting mechanics in a competitive environment like you can in Grand Theft Auto.
True.
Yeah. Let me hit a couple supers. I gotta bookmark this Grand Theft Auto thing to go into the next part. But I got Mikey363 with the 179. I think I didn't get this one, but he says, thanks, Mikey. He says Xbox needs to buy Ubisoft just for Splinter Cell, which is a franchise everyone, Ubisoft just keeps ignoring. Oh man.
Why?
Hargit Chani with a $5 super chat. Thanks, Hargit. Says for Game Pass, they either need partnerships like EA, that would be really great, which they kind of have now, or outright acquisitions to attract customers. Take-Two would be good in either form. Yeah. There was a rumor about Ubisoft putting their service on Game Pass, but something that hasn't materialized, but it sounds like such a great idea. Have you heard about Ubisoft possibly like putting their subscription service on Game Pass?
I have. I mean, that would be amazing. It's still just, how do you keep the same price and add all these amazing things? Eventually, do you agree eventually, very soon, probably in the next, whenever Game Pass Ultimate exceeds Xbox Live,
yes,
subs, Gold's going to go away.
You think they're waiting for Ultimate or just Game Pass in general? I haven't thought of that before.
Whichever. So when Ultimate or whatever gets ahead of Gold, who knows how? We're speculating somewhere between 18 and 30 million right now for Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Gold's probably still more than that.
How many do you think are subscribed to Xbox Live Gold? They've never said.
No idea. They used to have 50. They used to have like 50, 60. I mean, they had a lot back in the day.
Well, PlayStation has about 42 million Xbox Live Gold. They're PS Plus people. They're monthly pay to play online. So, I mean, I guess you could do the numbers. PlayStation is not 2-1 with Xbox. I think it's closer to. If PlayStation Plus is at 42 million, I would say, oh my gosh, I would say Xbox Live Gold might be close to 30 million. And maybe that's why they want that goal, because I've heard that Xbox, like you just said, that Xbox wants to hit this critical mass of Game Pass so they can just get rid of Gold, as they say it's archaic.
Yeah. So once they get rid of that, they have to fill in the gap with value. You're taking something away, right? Are you not taking something away?
So you're talking about the price increase again. So
no, I'm talking about maybe, okay, once that goes, then you can put something like a Ubisoft in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're taking value away from the consumer by taking Gold away. I mean, that's what it seemed like to me. Like
taking Gold away. I mean, the idea is for them to stop requiring Gold.
Right.
Which,
But
I wish I could grab them and tell them, because I really feel like that if Xbox said, we have Game Pass, we have the most affordable console, we have a way for you to pay for your console plus Game Pass monthly, like the value proposition is massive. And if Xbox could add onto the bullet point, on the Xbox platform, whether you play on PC or console or cloud, you don't have to pay to play online.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't that pay for itself in more people saying, oh, I want to play all these games and not have to pay $60 a year or $5 or $9 a month to play online?
Maybe.
Couldn't that work its way out?
Sure, but the only thing I was getting at is right now, when you go get it, it says you're getting Gold. right? When you go pay for, so then they're taking it out. So why am I still paying $15 a month when you
for Ultimate? Oh yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sorry. When Ultimate, when you just take something out, so why is?
But they do include xCloud console and PC and game streaming with
true.
Ultimate. But you're right. I never thought of that. They would have to give you something else.
It feels like they're taking some. You're paying this price and it's gold is included. So if like gold's gone, it seems like there's some value there that you got to give back to your consumer.
And it would be a mess to just delete gold and Ultimate and just call it Game Pass. Like, that's a lot of work too. That's a lot of converting and stuff when they have to convert people in and out of. Oh my gosh, that's a mess.
It's kind of a mess. It is. But hey, at the end of the day, like you said, you wish they could just shake some people and tell them, "Here's what you get for this." See, a lot of people don't know that still. A lot of people, the more casual folks, it's not their fault. They just don't know. They just still think Xbox Live Gold is the thing. That's the thing.
And what do I know? Like, maybe to me, like lemonade stand economics, like if you get rid of Xbox Live Gold, you draw more people and it'll pay for the deficit. But, I'm sure that they've done the numbers and I don't know what I'm talking about. Sam Craft Recon with a €5 super chat. Thanks, Sam. He says, Microsoft are clearly going to, this is his words, Microsoft are clearly going to acquire Take-Two, Square Enix, and Sega, and Apple too. Ha ha ha, he says, jokes aside. I think they'll reveal acquisitions at the 20th anniversary. I don't think they're going to announce anything anytime soon. What do you think, Stallion? Do you think the acquisitions are ready to be announced?
I think we're getting the mini fridge at the 20th anniversary. That's the best you're gonna get. I don't know. I have no idea. The acquisition things. I have no idea. I think that just kind of comes. I don't think you will really, unless you're inside. I don't know if you're really gonna see that. Like who knew about Bethesda? That came out. Who knew about that? Nobody knew about that.
We heard rumors like a year before, but I mean, it just sounded like a crazy pipe dream. And they kept it so well under wraps. And I've been privileged to talk to a lot of people that hear stuff all the time. Because I don't claim to be an insider, but I do get to talk to people who are darn near close to it. And I have to keep that stuff super quiet. I can't go make a video on something like that, and then it just doesn't work that way. But
that made it where anything's possible.
Yes.
So
I mean, Satya.
If anybody, if they got to Take-Two or whoever, you just would you be surprised?
I feel like the audience and Xbox fans are expecting it at this point.
That's
weird. I just don't think it really works that way.
Yeah, I think it's something like that's going to happen, and it's going to like surprise you again if it does happen.
Here's what I think we're going to see first, and here's why I think we might not see any acquisitions for a year or maybe longer. But I'm not. This is just my take. I think that Xbox is in a test driving mode right now where they're working with IO Interactive. They're working with Avalanche Studios to make Contraband, and they're working with Crystal Dynamics. I think it's such a great plan for them. This is just my idea of what they're doing, is that their idea is to work with these developers on at least one game, maybe two. Or maybe if they just do one, like if they work with Crystal Dynamics on Perfect Dark and everything comes off great, the working relationship is great, then Xbox just says, we were going to buy you. Now we know we want to. Here's the offer. I think that's where acquisitions. Yeah, test drive.
They're going to test drive. That seems like the PlayStation sort of thing. Don't they seem to test drive and then they're like, okay, we're going to take you now.
This is why they have their organic growth that everyone has been getting all hot and bothered about, because Jim Ryan said, we're not just going to go buy studios to get content. We're going to organically work within our studios.
I see.
He knew that they were going to buy the people they've been working with.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is Xbox has been working with Bethesda and ZeniMax for a long time. They've been working with them through publishing and development, and they've been working with some of these other teams a lot. They work with them on hardware and software-related things. So you just have to know a team if you want to buy them. It's business, right? If you want to buy the teams, you got to know who they are. And I don't think Xbox just goes out and buys a team thinking they'll just be a great producer of games. Let's see. We got Hargit Johnny again with $5 super chat. He says, For Game Pass, they need partnerships. Oh, I did cover this one. Risk it for the biscuit. We got the Australian crazy guy, Risk it for the biscuit. I love this guy. He's been making me laugh. He says, you think Game Pass will go up in price? Say they add Ubisoft Play to the service, or would they just add more tiers? I think, he says, they'd add more tiers. We didn't talk about that, Stallion.
Ooh, more tiers. I don't know if they need more tiers, man. There's already too much. It's Game Pass Ultimate, Gold. They want to condense it probably.
I think they would want to simplify it. Yeah, that's a good point. But, these are good things to think about because they are adding more. Yudani Quezada with the $5 super chat says Minecraft has a store within the game. The Rockstar Shark card system and creation in the game is perfect to have that rolling income if they don't give away from perks. There. What's that?
I didn't hear what you said there.
He said the Rockstar card system could be an in-game or in-store income for Xbox. That's what you're talking about. Like they could do perks. Or you could afford to make an exclusive Grand Theft Auto, according to Yodani, because he says you can just keep making money off the Shark card plus a sub for Game Pass. I got a couple more I got to get to, but we got to get these topics. But thanks to Lord Starkiller. He's been channel member for 11 months. He's got the Ori badge that I drew up. So he says Microsoft has the cash to acquire Take-Two. Would be great to have exclusive GTA and Red Dead. And what I was going to add to what you said, Stallion, is that I'm losing my train of thought as I tell you. When you were talking about how they bought Bethesda, after they bought Bethesda, Satya came on camera for the media and said, we're all in. We're not done acquiring. Mm-hmm. So like when you said they bought $7 billion, are they willing to do more? Sounds like they are. So, yeah. All right, I got to get into this super crazy thing. I really love and respect these guys, and I know they're PlayStation-centric, big personalities on social media and YouTube and stuff like that. But you got Sacred Symbols. Do you know these guys, Stallion? You got Colin Moriarty and Dustin Furman and his team, and they put on a really big podcast, and they do really great things. But did you hear about their little controversy where they got their arm twisted by some crazy fanboy?
So I know of Colin because of Kind of Funny. He was like IGN Kind of Funny. Okay, I know who he is. I haven't watched his podcast or whatever, but I did see that clip, and I immediately when I saw it, I'm like, they twisted his words. I know they twisted it. I didn't go look at it, but I kind of knew. I kind of knew when I first looked at it. I'm like, they definitely twisted his words a little bit.
Yeah. The clip was probably 3 minutes of discussion cut down to 2.5, and it left out some of the equalizer stuff. And I did a video on this last week because I respect these guys, and I know what it's like when someone takes you out of context. But there was a little bit in what they did say that is full force of what they said on their show that was out of kind of the wrong perspective for Xbox. You're a big Xbox guy, so you've watched during the Xbox One generation when they only had 4 or 5 studios. And I feel like Colin and Dustin placed blame on Xbox buying studios right now, but blaming the old team that's not there anymore. I don't know if you follow the leadership with Xbox over the past decade. Are you keyed in on
Don Matrick? I know these guys, yeah.
Okay. So I know that the audience probably knows exactly what we're talking about, but they said that they don't want Microsoft to go and just buy studios and get involved and maybe interfere with what they do well just because they have a fat wallet. And I feel like Colin was kind of trying to place Xbox's methods now on the team that used to exist that no longer works there. Like they bought Bethesda, and he thinks that if Xbox got involved with what Bethesda makes, that they'll put out low-rated games like they did with the Xbox One generation. Tell me what you think of that that perspective.
First of all, they're not going to mess with Bethesda. They're going to just support Bethesda. Bethesda should be probably... I'm not going to put the pressure on them to make better stuff. They already make great stuff that sells to a wide variety of people. Skyrim. How many people have bought Skyrim? A lot of people. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're going to still bring out the quality games, but maybe they'll have a little more money to do so, or they're going to reach the plan is for them to actually reach more people. That's the whole plan. That's the end game. We want to reach more people with Game Pass. So if Bethesda's doing the same thing they've done for the last 25 years, I think Bethesda's been around 20, maybe a little longer. I think they just hit 25. They're just going to have more people playing their games. Hopefully, that's the goal for Xbox.
Okay,
because these games they're not coming on a PlayStation. We already know that. You can just
the new ones.
Everybody knows that those games
they
are not
can have
coming on a PlayStation.
They can have PlayStation can have Skyrim remaster, remake of remaster.
But casual folks that like Skyrim, that like Fallout, they will play those games wherever they can play them. If it's PC, if it's cloud, if it's Xbox, they're going to get in and play these games. I think the majority of the people that like, oh, I'm not going to play Bethesda games anymore. They're, let's see when the games come out. Let's see if you're still. Let's see. You're going to play them on PC if you don't want an Xbox, but you're going to play the game.
If you can't stand to get an Xbox,
right?
Yeah,
exactly.
So one of the things that came about that was the rumor that persists about Take-Two, and Colin said that if Xbox bought Take-Two and put it only on Xbox, that would suck. And then later, it wasn't included in the clip, obviously, for fanboy reasons. He said if Sony bought Take-Two and kept it on the PlayStation, that would suck. And here's the difference, which you just touched on, Stallion, is that if PlayStation bought Take-Two, it would only be on a PS5. If they bought Grand Theft Auto 6. If Xbox buys Grand Theft Auto 6, where does it go? Even if it's exclusive. Like, what are the platforms?
Your TV app.
Yeah.
Your Xbox. Your PC. A phone. So many places.
Yeah.
Like you said, if it's PlayStation, it's probably just PlayStation only. So, I mean, if you're, I don't know. Obviously, if you're into PlayStation, you're going to want it over there. If you're on Xbox, you want it over here. But obviously, if you look at the whole thing without getting in the mess of, Ford versus Chevy, or pissing on the Chevy, or pissing on the Ford, pissing on the Xbox, pissing on the PlayStation
with the Calvin stereo.
Yeah, that thing. I don't even know what his name is, but
oh man, you are young.
It is. I'm not that young. 21.
21. There you go.
So that would be, it would be interesting, but I'm sure the majority of people would rather have it on as PC gamers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's gonna go to Steam.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be on Steam. It'll be on the Bethesda launcher for Bethesda games. But like, I don't know if like a Grand Theft Auto would go on Epic Game Store. Yeah, it's weird because Xbox is like, well, if it's on PC, we'll put it on Steam. So maybe they'll put it on Epic Game Store and just rake in that 70% or whatever. But I don't know.
I guess it's hard to say what PlayStation would do because I'm not them. Because they have put their games on PC before, but they wait a year, 2 years, 3 years later down the road. If they got something like Grand Theft Auto, maybe they would still put it on Steam. I have no idea. I can't sit here and say I know for sure because I don't.
I mean, we can take a
we
pretty
know
good guess.
We know
kind
what
of know
Xbox
how.
would do.
Yes, we know what Xbox does. Yeah, we have a good idea. And I'd like to set the record straight. I know we look at Xbox One generation as, man, they were really, really struggling, but they had 5 studios down. They had Lionhead, which they shut down, which was making Kinect and a half-baked MMO-led Fable game, which I don't know. I kind of wish I would have. I never got to try it. They've got Turn 10 making Forza. They've got 343 making Halo. I really wanted to drive home in my video last week, and I'll talk about it here real quick, that Halo 4 and 5 are not horrible. They're actually received pretty well in and around the same score as like the Spider-Man games, but they have this really bad general opinion from the gaming community. You see this, like 343 can't do a good Halo. Holy crap, we need to talk about Halo here in a second, but Halo 4 is like an 86 or 87, and Halo 5 is an 84. Like it's right around what the Spider-Man games got. And those games are incredible. You should play them. I'll loan you my PS5. But
that's definitely if I got a PlayStation, that's God of War, Spider-Man.
That's why I bought my PS4. I bought it in 2018 because I knew those games were coming out that year. And then I went back and I played some of the other games that are really well acclaimed. I had a good time, but I mean, I'm on the Xbox 90% of the time. I'll just go do those games and then move on. But yeah, so Xbox Game Studios, their first party stuff, like the franchise they've done over and over, are really good. But everyone thinks Xbox can't make great games because they hire out these third-party studios that didn't do great games. Like Quantum Break was kind of good. Rise, pretty good, low-rated. Crackdown 3, I loved it, but the industry thinks it's garbage. Like, you've looked at these games. You probably enjoyed quite a few of them. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. That's we'll move on. We'll move on from that. Xbox is a totally different team. Like you said, Matrix gone. Phil and Satya and Matt Booty. It's good things. Good things coming. So let me hit a super chat here. We got Chris R. Thanks for the $5 super chat. He says, if Xbox bought Take-Two, we'll never get off the subject if we don't try. They will run the risk of being blamed for their terrible microtransaction actions in the future. I agree with you, Chris. I think Xbox wants to let their teams do their thing. And if Rockstar belongs to Xbox, Rockstar will still make microtransactions. And sorry to say, microtransactions are a thing that developers like when they're in Game Pass. Publishers like that.
For sure.
Yeah,
that's how they make extra bank. That's how they make probably the majority of their money.
Yes, they do, and it's one of the reasons why games aren't much more expensive. But I just don't spend my money on them. But
you don't have to. You know, you don't
have to.
You don't. Nobody has to. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to.
Raiden Blade with the £2 super chat says, make GTA 6 exclusive for 4 years on Game Pass and then release it on PS5. At that point, just keep it. Keep it. Because you need to draw people to the service. Kylo Ren with the $5 says, Cole, I don't know if you remember, but when Xbox got Tomb Raider as a timed exclusive, he's talking about 2015, the internet lost their minds. Microsoft got a lot of crap. Beep. But can you imagine GTA? Yeah, Stallion is already imagining it, and he's going like this. All right, let's talk about Halo Infinite, or else we'll never get moving.
Let's talk about Halo. Halo's back, baby.
Yes, Halo is king. Yes. Kotaku just put out an article today, just before the show, saying that Halo Infinite is a buggy, hilarious mess, and people aren't liking that right now. But what did you do all weekend, Stein? Tell the good people. We got 600 some people watching.
I played Halo Infinite big team battle, or big 12 on 12, so it's a little bit bigger than it used to be. We got it used to be 8 on 8, right? 8 on 8 big team battles.
Okay.
Now it's 12 on 12. It's fantastic. I honestly didn't think I would like it as much as I do, even though the E3 trailer got me. Like, I love Halo. Like, I really, really love Halo. Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3. I kind of fell off the multiplayer around 4, and then 5 picked me back up.
That's so good, yeah.
But this is a callback plus. It's almost like, okay, it's a flight, but it's like the definitive Halo. I most people say, well, it's supposed to be. Well, it hasn't always been like that. They've went back to the roots, but then just added so much more to it, from the sound effects, like also, like the guns, the way the guns thump. They've got a thump to them now. You crank up that surround sound and you start shooting. Or you put on the headphones. There's a thump to these weapons now. It's completely different in the way the game looks. It's far different than 5. Like 5 was good multiplayer, but it didn't really have. There was something different about 5. There was definitely something different about 4. I just didn't like 4. 5 was 5 was good, but it still was not like 2 and 3 in my opinion. This feels a lot like 3. It feels like 343. I don't know how long that studio's been around, but they say it takes 10 years to master something. This
That's
feels
about
like
it
feels like they've mastered making Halo multiplayer, even the maps. This big team battle map, it reminds me, well, it's hard to it looks kind of like Valhalla. Do you remember Valhalla from 3?
Yeah.
But there's more structures. It's just a bigger map. It's not as wide open as Valhalla. And then it just being 12 on 12, and the map's so big, there's like little firefights breaking out everywhere in the map. It's like it'll be 2-on-2, 2-on-3, 2-on-4 over here.
Why do I always come around the corner and it's like 3 or 4 guys shooting at me at once?
You don't know. That's the beauty of Halo. You don't know. The sandbox is with the grapple hook. You know, people grappling around the map, taking on a Banshee grapple jack and a Banshee grapple, getting people out of ghosts with the grapple.
Have you been watching these like super clips that have been like kind of going viral?
I've been watching everything. I've been watching it all, dude. It's fantastic. The clips, just the clips people are going to make from Halo is going to be extraordinary. And we've only played one map, and it was a really good map. So I cannot wait until December to see all these. I know you said
like it's got so much, and I think we got like access to 3 maps in one big map, like basically 2 modes or something, and people are already their concerns are dissolving away. I got to ask you how you're feeling last year when the Craig trailer was shown, because I had a different reaction. But like, how did you feel last year when you first saw the game?
This one's really tough for me because I was doing like this campaign with them where I was like the Power of Your Dreams, where they made me watch the clip like 15 times or something. They made me watch
the one that would be at E3 in 2020.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And
who were you working with back then?
It was. Well, they've already released this stuff. It was around launch. They'd done like it was Xbox. It was Xbox and some other people that was from San Francisco. They like put me to sleep. So I'm kind of too close to this to really like talk about it, because I did. I was like I had to sit there and watch it. But for me, when I saw that, I think I talked to you about this before we started. When I first saw that grapple hook, I was envisioning what it would be like in the multiplayer. I was like, man, that's going to be so awesome. I'm going to like, people are going to be flying off the side of cliffs and like living. They're going to be able to like grapple back up, like come back from the depths of hell, man. Like
it's so funny how people look at the Halo clips online, or they jump into the flight and they think they're like, it's just Halo. It's just kind of like a back to its roots Halo. And then you start seeing that there are physics and creativity that like the repulsor and all this stuff. It's crazy. But when they showed that first 5-minute gameplay, by the way, when they show the 5-minute gameplay demo and then they show that brute talk, I never watch after that brute comes on screen. Like I blocked that out of my mind. But my initial reaction was, wow, this looks really good. This looks like Doom and Halo met together. Like the combat looks really fast and looks really brutal. And then everyone started nitpicking and oh my gosh,
there was some pop in.
You had to watch it like a bunch of times. And what was your reaction, or can you say?
You know what? The more I watched it, the more I liked it. It's not like the first time. The first time I think I saw it, I was watching it, streaming it live. So the quality when you watch it, it's a little bit degraded. So I definitely went back and when I was watching these clips several times, it was the HD version, the best quality version. I'm like, okay, this looks a lot better than I initially thought. It was the graphics that bothered me. I was like, this just doesn't look good. But the whole open world and then like the physics and stuff, that all looked good. That all looked great to me. Like grapple hooking. What I think I can't remember what exactly he grapple hooked. I think he took one of them energy the energy barrels or whatever, and chucked it at a grunt or something. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, he chucked it at like a grunt on one of the turrets, like on one of the plasma turrets. And I guess we didn't know yet. We didn't know how creative you could be. It almost looks scripted because, you know, when they record those gameplay clips, the person playing that plays it like 50 times until they get the perfect run. And then that's what they show. But then the game didn't look perfect. But were you concerned all year long while they took the delay, or
no?
Were you?
No. I once they delayed it, I'm like, this game's not coming out for at least another year.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. They're going to take their time. They're going to release this in the fall next year. And from what it looked like, it looked good. I'm like, this could be the bones of that looked good. And if they have now, what is it, 12 months, a year, whatever it was at the time, I'm like, they can definitely make something out of this. I wasn't too down on it. Obviously, what's the brute's name?
Craig.
Craig, yeah. Craig the Brute. Obviously, he didn't show, well, people love him now, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
People love it. Why not? People love him now, but at the time, it just looked kind of bad. I don't think they were completely ready to show it. And we could blame it on COVID, or they just weren't ready. How about, hey man, they just weren't really ready to show it. But what if they didn't show Halo? Have we thought about that?
If they didn't show it last year?
At all.
I mean, they were way overdue with showing the game. But when you ask like why, I just felt like 343 wanted to show the game regardless, and they thought that it was going to be okay, and it's not okay. Like, it's not okay to, as creators, like if you're a person that creates things or makes things for people or does anything, any type of service for someone, like you want it to be your best, whether you're a cabinet maker or you're an artist or a musician, like you don't want to show people till it's its best so you don't look like a moron. Yeah. Shout out to Dealer Gaming in the chat. He's I had him on last week. We had some laughs, but we all talked about this, but you want it to look its best. And my concern was that 343 felt like they were putting their best foot forward and they didn't realize that wasn't the best foot forward. But like, what was your reaction when you loaded up the flighting this weekend? Because this is the first time you got to see it bigger, like, because it took an improvement from the last flighting 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you played that. Like, I think the visuals took a little uptick. So how'd you feel when you loaded up?
Yeah, so for the first whatever flight it was, we were just playing against bots, and everybody was having fun. I was having fun against bots. So I'm like, okay, big team battle, bring it on, man. Bring big team battle on. I know I'm going to love that. It's one of those games where one more game. I want to play one more game. Keep going. One more game. Matchmake, one more game. It's just one of those type of games. And to me, we played on one map, 3 modes.
Oh my gosh, we played the wheels off of it.
Yeah. Speaking of wheels, I saw some video. It's dude shooting off a wheel. But
let's talk about it. Let's talk about the wheels. We got to talk about. I told you before the show we might get a little fanboy about, or anti-fanboy about how people are. So Halo. The media is pretty much won over, except for Kotaku. But the media is like really excited about how this game is. Like they're all on board. Halo Infinite's back. 343. They finally figured it out. If this is how the multiplayer looks, the campaign's going to be great. You know, the story's just got to hit, and then I think they got a really good game. So everything's great, right? It's like it's going to be a winner, and then people are shooting the tires off the Warthog. So what did you see? What was the little clown post you saw this past week or so?
I don't know. I think I might have saw it from your feed. I don't know. Did you read? Maybe Paris Lilly. I think he quote tweeted it.
Yep.
That's when I saw it, and I'm like, I'm looking at this thing. First of all, I'm like, well, why are you giving this guy some shine? Like this doesn't deserve any shine here. But the wheel. What does it matter? Like, what are we looking at here? We're gonna just looking to nitpick everything. Also, I mean, so you're saying this guy's a PlayStation guy, right? That's doing this.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was playing it or he has this like troll on the inside. You log into Xbox Live and play the game.
So,
let's be honest. Most of these guys, I mean, at this point, they're probably buying Xboxes or they're getting the Xbox games on PC because things will be pretty good this year. But yeah, go ahead.
Shooting a wheel off a Warthog is probably better than the multiplayer game you're going to be playing on PlayStation. That's from Sony.
Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy? Like,
Like, what are you playing? Like what? I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, here's what's happening, Stallion. Right now, I've got a PlayStation 5 over here, Xbox over here. I got them symmetrically set in the entertainment center. And I bought Kena, Bridge of Spirits, $40 game. That
looks good. That looks really good.
It looks really good. I'm not compelled to play it, and then the fighting comes out, and I'm on Halo and playing some other cool stuff that we'll get to talk about later, right? Or you and I'll get to talk after the show and all that stuff. But anyway, it's a really good time to be a gamer. But if you're on Xbox, like 2021 has turned into it's turned into a really, really good set of games. The indies are hitting really well with Death's Door and stuff like that. So it's been really good. Here's the problem. I think some of the PlayStation fans, they got through Ratchet and Clank. They played Returnal. Maybe they didn't like it. They loaded up Deathloop. Maybe they didn't love Deathloop. But you always see at a certain point a fan base will start to get idle hands at the Devil's Workshop. They start to get bored, and they start attacking Xbox guys because they don't have anything that they're enjoying right now. Maybe that's what's happening. Because what was the talk of this weekend, Stallion? Like, I feel like when I say Stallion, I feel like I'm Apollo Creed talking to Rocky.
I'm a big Rocky fan. That's where it came from.
I am huge.
You got it. But
what war you, Stallion?
They're just they want to ruin the momentum. They want to ruin the fun. They want to ruin for whatever reason, just like, let's bring it all. Let's try to bring everybody's fun down. What's the point of that? Like, why?
I don't know.
Why are you doing that? What do you?
I can't imagine talking about a platform that I don't like or play on. I always bring up the reference to Nintendo. Like, everybody loves it. Oh, here. My kids have a Switch, right? I don't play this thing. I don't really like the games. I know they're good. I'm too busy playing like the bigger blockbuster games or some of the cool indies on a controller, on 360 or on the Xbox controller. So I don't talk about the Nintendo Switch hardly ever because I don't play it. So I have really not much to say. If someone says, "Do you like the games?" I would say, "I know they're really good," but I would never bash a system that I hardly ever play on because I'm not a clown.
Wow. Harsh words, not a clown. Yeah. So you wouldn't go back, like, if everybody's having fun on Animal Crossing, you're not like, oh my God, look at these pixels. Look at these look at this.
In fact,
look at this grass.
In fact, I think that game looks really cool. My kids have played Animal Crossing, and I've walked in the room, and they've got it docked, and they've got it on the big, I've got a really nice TV in the living room that makes games look really nice. And I'm like, that is so cool because when they walk, it's got the curvature of their world they're in. And I know they don't do there's no combat, but I just appreciate when a game is like so popular that people talk about it and it boosts the industry and the community. Absolutely. So I would never bash, even though there's no combat, I wouldn't like that game. No way. But everybody's loving Halo Infinite right now. It is so huge.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen when this game comes out? Because it doesn't have online co-op.
I don't think that matters. The multiplayer, free to play. There you go.
It's going to be huge.
First time Halo's been free to play. I know you don't have this on the schedule, but Battle Royale seems to be a touchy subject. Really touchy.
Oh yeah. What do you have a strong opinion on this? I'd love to hear it.
I don't really have a strong opinion. I just think it's a mode. It's a mode in a game. So if it
takes a lot of planning to make, though.
It does. It definitely does. That would take a lot of effort. That would have to be. Who knows when? Maybe there is. They might have found what the Battle Royale from the announcer, something like that. Maybe saying
like found like a little secret.
Yeah, like saying Battle Royale. The announcer.
I mean, that was a rumor that was going back. I got to say real quick. Shout out to 600. Some people are watching. Chat, I'm actually kind of I'm watching the chat a little bit, but Stallion and I we're here having a good conversation. I try not to watch it, but you guys are awesome. Like, I've seen some of the comments. You guys are having a good time, and that makes us feel really good. So shout out to all of you watching the show and chatting and making and quoting us. You guys are amazing. But this is the X&C podcast, and I'm here live with Stallion83, and we're like knee deep in this Halo talk because Halo is king right now. And if you're listening to this after the fact, it's because I put this on most of the podcast platforms, like on Apple and Google and Spotify. So you can find that by searching XNC and just listen with the earbuds in while you're at the gym doing your pull downs and your
there you go,
and taking the pink weights and working out the triceps, right? So yeah, we appreciate that.
Gotta get some pink weights.
Sometimes if I'm feeling like really manly, I'll pick up the baby blue weights and I'll really get the biceps going.
Those are for my wife. I'll let her use that.
Actually, I should do that sometime at the gym. I should just like to walk up, like just really puff my chest out and grab the pink weights and just see how long I can stand in the mirror.
Oh.
Yeah, just start grunting.
Take a gallon of water. You got a gallon of water with you and some
got the
blue
milk
weights.
jug, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll see guys with like a milk jug and they've got like creatine or something. It's like this red foamy stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I'm that hardcore yet, but yeah, no, I'm just, Halo is king. It's a big deal. So fanboys are, they're not liking that. Like, cause Halo is supposed to be trash under 343, but do you think they got it together?
I mean, from what I've played, this is the definitive Halo. This is actually, if everything pans out, which it looks like it is, I went into big team battle. There was I didn't notice any lag. What you were saying about a Kotaku article, there was bugs.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like hours of footage. Do you want to see it, Kotaku? There's no bug. I didn't get kicked out of games. There was some odd stuff here and there where like somebody was in the party, then they would get kicked out.
I had one or two crash to the dashboard out of like 30, 40 sessions this past weekend. I had, what else did I have? Like party, like getting kicked out of your fire team once or twice. Yeah, you're right. Like it ran really well. If you're on console, I know the PC had some problems. Like there's some frame rate issues they patched pretty quickly, but
true. Yeah, I can only speak on Series X. That's all I play.
They're nailing it on Xbox, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you play it at 120? Do you have a 120 TV?
I tried it at 120. That's my big TV, the 120. For whatever reason, I don't like playing shooters on like an OLED big TV. I like playing on a computer monitor, and it's just I just do better. It's a thing. So I tried it, and I'm like, it looks good on an OLED in 120.
But your eyes have to like traverse an entire huge TV. That's why hardcore people don't do that. But how's the gunplay feel? Like everything's
the BR feels like I don't, it's perfect. I don't know what else to say besides it is the gunplay for at least the BR. Those are the ones I love. I'm going for a battle rifle, 100% battle rifle. Yeah. 4 headshots, it's over. Right? Like boom, 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 boom. It's done. That's what I'm going for every time. And that feels I don't think it's ever felt better. So to me, it's like, okay, if they can, every other weapon, I don't know if they work perfectly, but I know the battle rifle does.
Yeah. Chat, let us know if you got to play the flighting, because it almost seemed like anybody could get in. You could go into the Insider app and download, or most people that are talkative in the community were able to sign up and get in there. But when we had parties, I had parties of like 8 people in Xbox Live chat, and we were teaming up and trying to fill up the 12v12. Did you do that too this weekend?
You could go in with 12 people. You could
go in with you had 4 for a fire team, but we would try to get. I think we had 5 or 6 of us in at one time.
Cool.
In the same match. So, yeah.
So I didn't try to do 12 people at one. I don't know if you could have went in there with a full crew. That'd be cool if you could. I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah, Zocker87 in the chat said we had 8 at one time. He said, I think we went in with 8 Colt. So, yeah, Zocker was in there with me. We had Dealer. We had a couple guys from the community that we talked to a lot. So, yeah, Zocker says 8 of us kicked some butt. I was at the bottom of the leaderboard some matches, and then other ones I was getting closer to the top. I would have some really bad matches where I would be embarrassed. I feel so bad for my friends that I was leaving them behind, but when I should have been doing better. But let me hit some of these supers. We got Jedi Knight Peter. Thanks so much for the Australian $10. Australians are amazing because right now it's early morning or for them, so they're hanging out.
Hardcore. He's hardcore, man.
They're the best, man. I've had a couple of Aussies on the podcast. They're so cool. The great Xbox fans. He says, I already have Halo Infinite withdrawals. December 8th. Can't come soon enough. Let's see, Kylo Ren with $5. Thanks, Kylo. He says, before Satya was CEO, he was executive vice president over Azure and Cloud. Game Pass and Cloud are tied strongly to Azure. Satya is all about cloud services. Yeah, he talked about that in that interview. Did Xbox send you that interview where Satya was talking and Phil was talking about their future plans? We weren't allowed to show any of the footage. Did you get that?
Yeah, I watched it. I did watch that.
There was a couple of zingers in there that we weren't allowed to use.
Well, I think we could quote. We could have quoted. I think you could quote anything they said in the thing. You just couldn't show it.
Yeah, I have this clip on my desktop of Phil saying that some platforms make you buy the game twice on console and then PC. And that was quoted in the media a lot, but I just kind of hung back and didn't cover that because, I don't know, I didn't know what to do with it. But
yeah, it was kind of a dry thing, but what I remember from that video was they had a PlayStation controller. They had like a little cloud montage, and they had the PlayStation controller and everything. I don't know if they showed that publicly, but that was pretty funny.
Yeah, none of that got to show publicly, but I think that's where they're headed. I think if they could get Cloud or Game Pass on PlayStation, they would just barrel roll them and do it anyway. So, Epic Troy, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. He says, no, the problem is Halo fans are the worst. Well, I don't know what he means, but Halo fans are like, they are the diehard of the diehard, aren't they, Stallion?
For sure. Like when I said Battle Royale, a lot of people take offense to that. I don't really. They think it's going to take away from. They think it's going to take players away from the main multiplayer to the Battle Royale. What, I don't understand what's wrong. What's the deal? Master Chief is in Fortnite, right? Are they not planting the seeds to little kids? Like, here, little kiddies, come play Master Chief.
If you're not a Battle Royale fan, you know that Halo could do it really well.
It could
with
do it
drop
awesome.
pods. Yeah, and then just imagine you've got the ghosts and the warthogs and the wasps like littered around the map where you can go to them, and it would be so huge.
If they did it right, it would be huge.
I mean, it can be very derivative. That's the worry, that it's just a paint by numbers battle royale with the skin of Halo. And sometimes I walk in the room, my son's playing Fortnite. I'm like, gosh, dang, that game does some crazy stuff. No wonder it's so popular. And I don't play it. I've played it a few times, but I don't know. Battle royale.
They do a good job of keeping it fresh. That's what Halo would need to do. If they got a battle royale, you just got to keep it fresh. You got to keep it moving. You got to keep the seasons going, or however you approach it. But does it need it? Clearly, it doesn't need it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is really awesome. It needs firefight though. I want Warzone firefight again.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
I think that's going to come much later. Stallion, do you think they're thinking about battle royale?
They have to be. They have to be. At some point. I don't know if it's going to. Whenever they decide to drop it, I don't. Okay, well, I'm saying drop it like they got it done. They've got some other fish to fry first. They got to get co-op in there. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. I just feel like Halo Infinite it's a long-term plan. It's not going to end in a year. It's going to keep going.
Yep.
Content's going to keep piling in through Game Pass stuff. Like
just going to build the multiplayer.
They'll have some cool skins. Like I was talking about shark cards in the Xbox Game Pass perks, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. They're going to have cool skins for Halo. In the multiplayer's free, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they'll have cool skins if you get Game Pass.
I just got the best epiphany, like miracle idea for Battle Royale. So chat, if you're watching the show and you're just kind of listening while you're doing the dishes, stop doing the dishes for a minute. I got a killer idea. You know what?
Nobody's doing dishes.
Come load my dishwasher. Yeah. I just got a great idea. And I got to give props to Stallion for like inspiring me, but You were talking about how they have to innovate if they're going to do Battle Royale. I have such a cool idea. What if instead of a closing in like solar circle, you have to there instead of a circle closing in, it's a circle of the flood. And if the flood takes you over and gets you, your character turns into a flood character, and they do something creative like that. Either you come out and you're a flood character and you're like pinged on the map or something and you're easily killed. I don't know if that would make, but like they could do something with the flood to make that absolutely crazy.
That sounds like an infection mode or an infection big team battle.
But it closes in to get everyone cycled, huddled into the final killing floor. But it's the flood. And maybe when you come down to like the last 4 or 5 people, the flood is closing in on you too. It could be really freaking sweating bullets.
That sounds awesome. There's so many different things. There's so many different ways they could go with that. I mean, you just brought up an awesome example. Just spitballing. You just came up with something. What do you think 343 is thinking about? They've got probably Charlie memes everywhere. Like Halo.
The Craig.
Yeah.
Charlie. There probably is a Charlie. There's Charlie and Craig, and they're like a duet. Oh. Yeah. Zocker in the chat says I would instantly run into the flood to hunt others. Let's be real, and that's totally Zocker's like the type that will go and grief people and take them over as soon as possible. Hargit Johnny, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, should 343 do some work on Halo 5 campaign to make it better? No, it's done. Maybe some additional content to flesh out the story might fix the campaign. Stallion, what are they doing with the campaign? Are they kind of refreshing Master Chief's story, or are they going to quickly what do you think is going to happen?
You got me on that one.
Do you care?
I don't. I have no idea. I have no idea where they're going with this. You think Locke's in there?
Well, I mean, I know not a lot of. It's not a memorable campaign, and if you quizzed me, I couldn't really tell you what happened in 5.
It was still fun to play. It was still fun to play, but it lacked, and it did lack. The story did definitely lack.
I wonder if they're going to kind of book in 5 quickly in the intro. And just set you out on a fresh new reboot. Maybe it fast forwards in time a little bit so you can get away from that other stuff. I'm not sure. I think 343 knows that the 5 campaign story wasn't a high point for them. But the multiplayer is incredible. So, I don't know. Do you think they'll just reboot it?
At this point, I do not know. I don't have enough information on that one to even know. I just hope they put Halo 5 in the Master Chief Collection at some point. Give it its proper send off. Yeah,
they should. That would be good. I just load them up separately. I only use 5 for Warzone Firefight at this point. Kingfish 737. Thanks for the $5. He says, not sure what the media is talking about with Halo Infinite, but all week long, social media has been doing nothing but positive for Halo. So, I mean, I've been seeing that. But to see Kotaku say it was a buggy mess is like, come on, guys. I mean, there's better ways to get clicks.
No, well, it was for the clicks.
But isn't there a better way to get them? Isn't there a better way?
Would it say it's good? Halo was great. No.
Halo is good. Thank you for reading.
Yeah. Buggy mess.
Yeah,
PlayStation guys are going to go look at that. Oh, look at this. They're getting everybody with that title.
Yeah, that will get them their likes and retweets and their shares on the website. Kylo Ren with the $5 says, Halo Infinite is 343 finally making the Halo franchise their own. They had a few hiccups, so now they're taking the game in their own direction. I like that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't read this next one. Risk it for the biscuit. Thanks for the Australian $3. He says, well, I'll say it. I mean, it's him. Literally rubbed one out to Halo so good. Sorry. That's okay. But we'll just move on from that. Carlos Alvarado with the $2 super chat says, one map, 2 4-hour sessions, back-to-back over and over. It was fire. So how many sessions did you play this weekend?
I played the first 4-hour blocks all through days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I played 12 hours.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
I told you I'm old. I go to sleep early, so I didn't get in those late sessions. But I got those early sessions in. I made sure. I'm like, all right, I'm blocking off my schedule here. Wife, you go do something else because this is what I'm going to be doing for 4 straight hours. This is what I'm doing, and that's what I did. And it was glorious.
It was cool to get on, and like people were sending invites over and over and sending party invites because people were like, we're all doing this right now, and it hasn't been like that in a while because this is a big multiplayer deal. Nikolai Pumpkin with the $5 says, I'm buying a Steam Deck exclusively to play Xbox Anywhere games on handheld. It's going to be my Xbox Switch. Streaming is great but limited. Are you ordering one of these?
I didn't.
Steam Decks?
I wish I would have, but I did not. It's probably going to be pretty hard to get one at this point, right? Because everything, it's the Wild West, man. How do you get any type of system at this point? I mean, you might be able to get a Switch. You might be able to find a Series S. Sometimes you can find Series S. I saw one in Walmart the other day. It was my first sighting of a next gen console. I'm like, oh wow, I saw Bigfoot. Did? Yeah, I saw Bigfoot, man. I saw it.
You said you saw a Series X at Walmart?
Series S.
Oh, S, yeah. I still haven't seen one. I went to Costco and they had the cards, which I think maybe they had them, but not. I just haven't seen the boxes in person yet at a store, other than when I picked up my PS5 at Best Buy.
It's tough in these streets, man. It's crazy.
It is. It's going to be a long time until people can just get one. I feel bad for the people who can't get one.
That's the sad part of this generation so far.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, the fact that they did most of the games cross generation, like Halo is going to be on Xbox One. That was definitely the right decision. Like there's no doubt now. Remember when that was like a talking point, or everybody was like, PlayStation believes in generations and all that stuff. Clearly, this was the right decision. And then going forward, if you want to play games, you can still play on your. It's crazy that you're going to be able to play Series X games on your Xbox One. That's really nuts to me.
With the console streaming, yeah.
With the console streaming, yeah.
But Halo Infinite has a native version on Xbox One, right? Yeah, I forget about that. I guess I could have loaded that up on one of the Xbox One X's I have and try that. But chat, has anybody here played it on an Xbox One or One X? I would like to know. I heard it's at 30, but I haven't looked into that, and I haven't watched.
One X is 60.
One X is 60. Okay, cool. I mean, the game doesn't look mind-blowing. Even on the Series X, like it has that Halo look. I don't know what more we are to expect from how Halo looks, but it did look very improved on the last one. So I know that the campaign is going to look even better. I got Raiden Blade with a £2 super chat. It says, this is back to the tires. He says, you do know that military wheels don't need air. Stallion, what do you know about military vehicles in your... I don't know anything picture. About them. I don't know. Maybe. Did you notice I took that picture of you holding the Series X?
Yeah.
A green laser coming out of the end of it, just for fun.
I saw that. That was nice. That was a nice touch for sure.
So
the bazooka.
Is that true? Who's here in the military that's driven an APC? I think that's what they call them. Yeah, and all. I can't remember what that stands for.
Yeah, you need to whoever that guy is. Now you need to tweet him a picture of somebody blowing a tire off a real military.
Yeah, instead of shooting like a Buick LeSabre's tire. Let us know let us know in the chat if anybody has got any military experience. I know we get a lot of really cool people that have been in the military in their countries. David Kennedy saying they have air, but on an APC or like a SWAT vehicle. If you get like a SWAT truck, you can't blow the tires out. Do they reinforce them with belts or something like bulletproof belting? Who knows? We'll get into our rubber compound science here. I got Kylo Ren saying that he's 1080p 60 FPS on the One X. I am not worried about the tires. The physics are so great. Have you blown the crap out of some warthogs in big team battle?
Yeah.
So tell me about what kind of stuff you're seeing.
I just went in there and destroyed vehicles just to see what it would look like. The fact when they actually blow up and the ghost blows up, the warthog blows up, it starts turning like orange and red or whatever, like, and it starts making the noise like it's about to just explode. That's a pretty cool effect there when it actually does explode, and it's just nice to see. Even if I'm in it, I don't care. Just blow me up in a warthog. I'm okay with that. It's just a beautiful thing to see.
What a dumb thing to make fun of those tires, because Halo is always, every version has had really incredible physics. I remember Halo 2 when you're going over the bridge in the second level, going over that big long bridge, and you'd shoot a ghost and it would like sit there and go, it would make that, well, it's actually a sound of a guitar. It's a sound of a pick scraping guitar strings. And then it would shake and it would blow up and it had that purple plasma. The Halo games always looked incredible when you blow stuff up. And I'm not worried about the tires. But let's see. We got Monkey with an Australian $10 super. He says, another Aussie here. $10 here for you, Colt. Shout out yourself. A pizza or Game Pass. Have been a fan of yours since the early Xbox One X days. I started doing my channel in Forza. I actually started getting people to watch my content, Stallion, when they started to announce Project Scorpio and the Xbox One X. So that console means a lot to me. That's changed my life. You talk about how you did, how you like worked on this gamer score and you got into the forefront of the Xbox community. Xbox has reached out to you and they know who you are. Like, those moments mean a lot to you when they change your life. And in the process, we've enjoyed some awesome games. Monkey says, had a ton of fun with Halo Infinite multiplayer, especially Capture the Flag. I suck at that mode. That is so stressful for me. Are you good at Capture the Flag?
I just want to go in there and kill most of the time, to be honest with you.
Is that what you do? You're like the contract killer?
No. Well, I just want to play Slayer. I mean, I like holding territories and stuff. For me, you're going to have people that really want to communicate to play Capture the Flag, or I'll just get mad.
Yes.
I'll just get mad because nobody's doing the right thing. Right?
Yeah, everyone's like trying to get their own.
Russian. Yeah.
Everyone's They're all trying to get kills while like one guy, Water Egg 32, is trying to get the flag. He's got no help.
Yeah. One dude going for the flag by himself. He gets killed. You're just like, okay, this is not working, And
then it's like, that's defeat.
I just think you need a lot. If you have somebody that's group as just a lot of teamwork, Capture the Flag's amazing. But if everybody's just going their own way, it can be horrible. So
no, when I'm carrying the flag, I'm like, ah! Yeah. It's Hargit Johnny with a $2 super chat. This is an important one. He says, "Did you try biryani yet?" Yes, absolutely. We were talking about Indian and South Asian food a few weeks ago. I have a friend who's from that part of the world, and so yeah, my wife and I went out and had biryani and samosa chat and some other really cool stuff, and what a great experience. Do you travel the world, Stallion?
I don't really. I mean, no, not really.
Me either.
I've been around the U.S. a lot, but I haven't really traveled. I mean, I've been to Mexico. I've been to Hawaii's not really. I mean, it's far. It's kind of far away, but I haven't been like UK or Europe or anywhere like that. I would like to. I hate to fly, man. I've done it. Yeah. Hey, I traveled the world in flight sim. That was dope.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I went everywhere. I'm like, I'll see everything. I don't need to do this. I'm like taking my wife around. I'm like, we don't need to go to Europe. I'm taking you there right now.
Yeah, if you live in the UK or Europe, which a lot of people that we talk to on these shows, like I think it's a lot easier to travel around Europe than to fly across the ocean from the US. So we're not really excited about sitting on a plane for 14 or 12 hours or something. But yeah, that's a kind of a side topic. Purple Haze 4564. We're almost done here. Let me hit these. Colt, Microsoft needs to buy some DC characters to compete with the Insomniac Spider-Man and Wolverine. What do you think if Black Myth Wukong is exclusive to Xbox? Stallion, are you a big comic book guy? Are you well versed?
Wow. Well, I don't even know who those characters are. So
I don't. Well, you know who Spider-Man and Wolverine is.
Oh, I know who's okay. Yeah, I love. Like,
I don't know who Black Myth Wukong is. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Do you think Xbox needs a superhero character?
His name's Master Chief.
Oh my gosh, there he goes. I mean, he is a superhero. Who would win in a fight, Wolverine or Master Chief? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Who do you think would win?
Well, I mean, Wolverine would run at him, and then he'd just get out the battle rifle, and I don't know. I don't want to think about Wolverine getting shot up. All right, but hey, he's a good guy. Patrick Karanjeet says apparently Sly Cooper is coming to PS5, which is great since I love that series. What if Sega was acquired to get Persona on Game Pass? Let's talk real quick about on our last topic about Japan. Have you noticed Japan's been making, or Xbox making a little bit of headway? Have you been watching this?
They've been trying. They've been trying since the first console. It's tough. It's tough for them to break into that market because PlayStation's already huge. They planted their flag many years before Xbox even tried, and then Nintendo even years before that. So it's just been an uphill battle. I don't really know. Does anybody really know why? Is there any reason why it can't break through?
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation is a Japanese founded company, as well as Nintendo, and they've been around much longer. And Xbox came in the early 2000s, and Xbox also did a really terrible job of globalization for a decade. So, yeah, I mean, they have an uphill battle, but they are selling Xbox Series S and X's right now because I think some Japanese gamers are willing to give something new a try or maybe add something to their play space or their platform. So, VG in the chat says they're a foreign company, Xbox is, according to Japan. But, yeah, I mean, they're not looking to lead. I think Xbox just wants to be relevant and an option. So, and I think things are going well for that. Let's see. We got Lord Star Killer with a $5. Thanks, Lord Star Killer. He says, looking forward to Halo Infinite multiplayer. They better have the same multiplayer announcer with classic lines like betrayal for accidentally killing a teammate. They have some of that stuff in there, don't they?
Oh, yeah. They've got
They have the Chameleonaire. And,
they had a pancake. So he said pancake. I don't know. Remember what I did to get a pancake, but I'm like, this is pretty cool. Give me pancakes.
I did hear that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Don Otaku with a $5 says, it's crazy that Halo is the final first-party cross-gen game. He's got a good point. I think this will be... you got Forza Horizon in November 5, and then you have Halo. And I think everything after that should be next-gen only. Redfall, Starfield, Stalker 2, which is time exclusive. So, yeah. It's not first-party. Starting in 2022, Xbox is all in on the Series consoles, and Sony will still be doing cross-gen. Are you going to buy a PS5 and play Horizon Forbidden West?
That game looks good. There's no doubt about it. It's a game, very colorful game. I didn't play the original. Again, there's two games I would love to play: Spider-Man and God of War.
Yeah, they're definitely worth it.
At some point, I am going to get a Sony system and play all them games. I'm going to just go through Last of Us. What's the other one? Nathan Drake. What's that one called?
You got Uncharted 4.
Uncharted.
Lost Legacy was even better, I thought. It's more condensed. And yeah, I mean, those games are really, really good. Iron Mike says Pancake is using the repulsor to get a kill. So when you put the forearm up and oh yeah.
See, I want to do that. So I want to see somebody shoot a rocket. This is the clip I want to see. Enemy shoot a rocket. You use the repulsor and then you blow up like a warthog.
Yeah, I've seen the clip where someone shot the rocket launcher and used the repulsor and it bounced back and killed the guy with the rocket launcher.
It's
dope. Amazing. That's amazing. Raiden Blade adds a £2 super chat, says Monkey Magic Spartan Laser would kill Wolverine. And one last one, Don Taku says Cloud gaming will be their ticket in Japan since they're primarily mobile handheld gamers. That will change the trajectory for Xbox by a lot. Yeah, most gamers in Japan, I think, are on a PC or a mobile device, and I don't think a lot of them have. PlayStation's seen a slight decline in Japan because that PS5 is so huge. I don't think that they like gigantic, space-filling things.
That's what I've always heard. That's what I've like. They didn't like the Xbox.
Seems like a waste.
Right. because they got small spaces, really small spaces.
And it just seems like a waste of space to have some gigantic device. But everywhere is different around the world. But so Stallion, what is the big game that you've been playing as we head out here? I want to know, what's the last big game you've played on Xbox, and what do you think Game of the Year is going to be in 2021?
Okay, so the last big game I played, probably Hades.
Yeah,
that game was dope.
Are you really good at that? Like, you went through and beat it like 10 times?
I got all the achievements in it. That game's amazing.
Jeez.
Love that game. Love that game. That might, if it didn't come out last year, that might have been my Game of the Year. It would be between that and Death's Door, Game of the Year. I love Death's Door. And Psychonauts would be. So since Hades came out last year, I would say Death's Door, Hades. I have an idea what will be Game of the Year. I've said this months ago.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think Forza Horizon is going to be Game of the Year. It's a racing game. I think so. Wow. I mean, I don't know if Jeff Keighley's going to say Forza Horizon. He might. I think it's wide open this year.
I mean, 4 got Sports Game of the Year in 2018. So Psychonauts is really good. I know Ratchet and Clank is up there with people. I liked the game a lot, but I didn't love it. It's funny. I liked Psychonauts 2 a lot more. It just had more heart. It had more variety. It was just a good game.
Awesome game.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a really interesting Game of the Year.
It's wide open. It could be anything. That's why I say I think Forza Horizon is going to wow people the most, and I think that's going to get it done this year.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait.
It's weird.
To get hands on.
It's weird because it's a racing game. But is there a rule that says a racing game cannot win Game of the Year? There are 5 in.
People probably think there is. You know, Overwatch won Game of the Year in 2016, and it has 8 maps, and it's the same 2 modes. It won Game of the Year, so you never know. The problem with Forza Horizon, it just doesn't really have a story. You just kind of go and do your thing, and sometimes there's a stigma that you have to have a great story. Atomic Toaster says, couldn't Halo win? That story Halo is out of the realm. I think Halo might be out of the 2021 deadline, but that story for Halo Infinite would have to surprise and delight, and maybe make you tear up or something. I think, to really be super memorable.
It could be that. I mean, that could very well be Game of the Year. It won't be Keighley, the Game Awards Game of the Year, because, like you said, it doesn't meet the deadline. Mm-hmm. But it could be the majority. What's really Game of the Year? Is it the majority, or is it the Game of the Year awards? Who knows?
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody just quotes that one, but there's 20, 25 different Game of the Year awards on different sites that are pretty big. But,
I'm going with Forza. I'm sticking to my guns.
Right.
I think Forza Horizon 5 Game of the Year 2021.
I say it's a lot, but I think It Takes Two has a pretty good shot because it has heart. Visuals are amazing, and it's really fun, really solid. But Capano 5150, what a great number on the end of his name. He says, I disagree with Colin Moriarty. I'm glad Microsoft bought Ninja Theory. I want talent like that around. Did you hear that he said, why did they buy Ninja Theory? Did you hear that part of the clip?
I did hear that part, and that didn't make any sense, because that seems like a great fit for what people seem to want want more from Xbox and the type of games they make. They seem to want a single player, 10 to 15 hour type of game, and that they showed they can do that with the original Hellblade, and they've been around for a long time too. So
they have. Yeah, it definitely was something that is weird to say that when it was literally the one thing Xbox didn't have was a third person, blockbuster, amazing looking cinematic game. And he's like, why did they buy Ninja Theory? It's like, I didn't get that. But I also feel like in the moment, when we're on the show, right? In the moment, you may say something that you look back on and go, maybe I didn't really mean to say that, or maybe I don't really feel that way. Yeah. And I did that video and I didn't use their names because Colin and Dustin, their outlook towards Xbox is shared along a lot of people in the media. So I kind of approached it that way because I respect those guys and I would never like call someone out for an opinion because these are opinions. Like if somebody like Colin says, I don't think Xbox is going to be able to deliver because they usually haven't, like that is absolutely an opinion and people are allowed to have those, but boy, did people get mad. And I think they handled it well by telling people, let us have our context. But we've had a long show, Stallion. I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much for being on the show. This is the Xbox Newscast, Xbox XNC Newscast Podcast, and I'm here with Stallion. We're going to say goodbye and tell them, Stallion, where they should be keeping an eye out for you as you get back into your content and where they can find you.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I thank you so much for having me on. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Stallion83. Also YouTube. I dabble with YouTube. I've been dabbling with YouTube for a long time, but there's a thing there where I can't. I mean, I'm just mad at YouTube. Okay, I'm really mad at YouTube. That's all I got to say.
That's okay. That's okay. They aren't always super nice.
For years, I've been dealing with something with them. But anyways, that's YouTube.com Stallion83 and Twitter Stallion83 as well. You can find me there.
I've got your Twitch link in the description if anybody wants to click that and go hit the follow button on Twitch.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And thanks for being on the show. And,
yeah, no problem. It's great time, man. Thank you for having me.
we got more. Yeah, hopefully we get more Halo, but I think we're done until the game comes out. But thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, thanks for checking out the 600 plus people that showed up and the chat. You guys are amazing. And thanks for letting me read some of your questions and comments. You guys are outstanding. We're going to take off. Have a good night. We are out.
See you guys.